What's up, YouTube? This is Owen Dowell here, and going to be making a little bit of an update video. Feel like I owe you guys something because I've been absent again, and just going to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on in my life, what the deal is, where I've been. Because, well, I think y'all deserve it. It's been a couple months since my last video. I was really getting back in the swing of things, and then it just kind of dropped off the face of the planet. And honestly, it sucks. A lot of it this time because I graduated my college, my university finally, so that's good. I am now a graduate. I will not be doing grad school though. I'm done, leaving at bachelor's. I feel like with a major like computer science, having a bachelor's degree is pretty much sufficient, and I'm pretty content with what I learned in my schooling. So don't think I'm going to be doing anything with the graduate level stuff. But so I'm not in school anymore. It's mostly just the fact that I'm in a really weird spot in my life right now. The fact that I had to do one more semester of college kind of threw things for a loop. A lot of stuff kind of wound up happening that wasn't really hoping would happen. It's not really an ideal situation. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys a bit about what's going on. So I'm in a weird spot in my life right now, and I made an update video recently, my last update video, where I mentioned that I would be jobless at the middle point of May, and that is true. I don't currently have a job, but unfortunately, what I didn't quite realize when I made that video is that the day I posted that video, the very day that I actually uploaded that video, is the day that I became jobless. Now, that's not as bad as it sounds. I didn't get fired from the job. Something weird kind of happened where they ran out of payroll money for students. So the student workers, because I was a student employee at the IT computer repair center, so the student employees suddenly just kind of had to stop working because we were literally down to the wire with our payroll budget. I didn't even know payrolls had budgets, I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, maybe, I guess it makes sense that I do, but I thought it'd be a lot higher than that. So kind of odd that wound up happening. So I kind of stopped working 15 days earlier than I thought I would, which kind of stinks because I was going to use that next pay period to like work extra hard, get as many hours in as I could, because I technically it would have been my last pay period. So I was going to do that, really get a fat paycheck going, but unfortunately, turns out I got a $40 paycheck at the end because I worked about enough for $40. So not exactly a livable amount of money. So now the reason why I don't currently have a job is because it's kind of this weird thing right now, because I'm on the job hunt trying to find my big boy job. You know what I mean? The job that you get when you're out of college, that you worked hard, you worked hard on your schooling and your degree to get a job that is in what you studied. It's what I'm passionate about, computer science. So I've been trying to find a job that I could do with my computer science degree. And it's just kind of this weird thing that, like, if I found a job that I could work in the meantime, I just don't know. My thing is that I don't know if it would be like a good idea. I don't know if there's any jobs out there that I could take for just like literally a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Or it's hard to explain. And of course, the dang clock's going off, so my train of thought's going crazy. You'll also notice, are you serious? I thought it was done. You'll also notice that this video is completely raw, completely unedited, and you might notice that the quality, like the actual video quality, is a little bit crappy. We'll get onto that. That's part of this video. But my thing is that, if I were to get a job, let's say I find a job, and then 2 weeks later, the company that I'm currently interviewing with decides that they want to give me an offer. Well, you see, I just don't know, because now I'm tied up with this temporary job. I need to work there for like maybe a month or so to get some extra money. It's really just kind of this weird situation that I'm not really sure how to deal with it. To be honest, I really don't know how to deal with it. I was gonna get a job a few weeks ago, and it's due to a situation I'm gonna tell you here in a little bit. But and I went and I talked to my parents about it, but the advice that they wound up giving me was advice that got me out of the situation I was in, but wasn't exactly the advice I was looking for. So let's go ahead and get into that. So, and actually this has to do with the fact that the video quality is a little bit crap. You might notice that, yes, the video quality is not as good as it normally is. Granted, my front-facing camera videos normally aren't as good quality as the videos I do with the rear-facing camera, but this one is probably exceptionally worse. And the reason for that is because I have had to downgrade my phone. Normally, when I record YouTube videos, I've been using my iPhone 6, which is right here. It's got an OtterBox on it. And unfortunately, my iPhone 6 looks like this on the front. Yeah, that's not exactly good. I finally wound up busting the screen on my 6. So yeah, I've had this phone though. I'm actually really proud of myself. I've had this phone. Ooh, I shouldn't show y'all that since it came out, December 2014. So a couple months after it came out is when I bought this thing. And since buying this phone, all of my YouTube videos that I've been shooting have been recorded on this phone. I've been using this as my YouTube camera. Before I was using this thing, this Canon PowerShot A1100 IS, which is not a bad camera, but it's definitely not great for video. Don't even have autofocus on it. But this was a nice HD camera, had autofocus, which was nice for my channel. So I wound up breaking it, and I was like, well, crap, I really should get a new phone, because when you're on the job hunt, having a phone is a little bit more important than normal. So I went to my mom and I was like, what do I do? I really need to get this phone replaced, because it also had this problem where it was not reliably staying connected to the cell phone network. And I think the reasoning for that is because the casing was kind of bent in a little bit, and I'm pretty sure one of the antennas was shorting out against something, causing it to not exactly work with the cell networks. And the reason why the screen is broken is because, actually, it's funny, the night before I was actually going to like fix it, I did get really frustrated with it, and I just wound up throwing my phone and breaking it. So that's why the screen's broken. Unfortunately, my bad temper got to it before I could actually sit down with a clear mind and try to fix it. So I have to now use this phone. Also, earlier on, the earpiece stopped working. So the earpiece module actually is like a bunch of other modules. When the earpiece stopped working, so did the front-facing camera, as well as the two sensors up here. And I think my my compass doesn't work anymore on this phone either. So I wouldn't even be able to use this phone if I wanted to record this video, because it doesn't have a front-facing camera, which is kind of unfortunate. And I don't know what it would sound like if I used a rear-facing camera, because I'm not sure if there's a microphone that it uses or not. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, so that's why I'm recording with this iPhone 5C. It's a yellow iPhone 5C, actually, that used to belong to my mom. And, yeah. Now, the other thing about this phone is that you might be thinking, well, you can still use iMovie on that phone, I'm sure. But here's the thing. This phone is an 8GB phone. It doesn't have a lot of room on it. So what I'm worried about is that if I were to put iMovie on here, that's going to take up a lot of space. I'm not actually entirely sure what. Let me see. This phone feels huge. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm typing on a small tablet. And this is an iPhone 6. I'm just going to see real quickly how big iMovie is on here. Because I'm actually curious. But what I'm afraid of is that when I put... How do I get to it? Oh, here we go. iMovie, where art thou? Did iMovie auto-delete itself? iMovie might have auto-deleted itself. Oh, that's annoying. I was actually really curious to see how big it is. I do know that iMovie does take up at least 1 GB on this phone. So that's already, like, that's a full gigabyte of this already very restrictive space. And then I'm going to be recording videos, and I'm going to be working on editing the videos and the projects, the iMovie projects that you create when you're editing videos. Sorry, Instagram is starting to flood me. The projects that you create when you're making iMovie takes up more space than I think it should. But that's just me. And then you obviously have to export the videos. So I just don't really see it as being a practical, like, editing solution right now. And there is no way I'm going to be recording my videos on here and then transferring them to this phone. That's just garbage. Honestly, this phone is, it's got other problems with it. Like, it was boot looping at one point. I feel like this phone might be just a little bit unstable, and I don't know if it could really handle exporting a video right now. I think that might cause it to crash and reboot and then go into a boot loop again. And I've been trying to keep this phone alive. I've been charging this phone's battery. After I unplug this phone, I'll plug this phone into charge, because I've got really nice pictures on here. Y'all know, if you follow me on Instagram, that I've kind of taken on photography as a hobby, and I really want to save these pictures because I think they're really nice. And once I can get to a point where I can do it, I'm going to pull the pictures off of this phone, and then I'll be able to do whatever I want with this phone. But that brings to something else. When I do get my job, there are going to be a few things I'm going to buy, and these things I'm going to buy are actually going to be for my YouTube channel. These are very high priority purchases. The first thing I'm going to buy is a new phone, right? So that way I have another way to record YouTube videos again. And then when I get the new phone, it will be powerful enough to run some kind of video editor that I can then edit my videos on until I get my next purchase, which is going to be a new Mac. I'm going to get a new Mac because my MacBook Pro doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't, which sucks because ScreenFlow is my video editor of choice, and ScreenFlow is really nice. Honestly, ScreenFlow is just so well put together, and my little Yoga over there, I don't have a video editor on it. I probably could get a video editor on there, but that's just money that I don't really want to spend right now. I already spent money on ScreenFlow, and I'm willing to spend another $150 on ScreenFlow again if I have to renew my license, because it's just such a good video editor. I really, really love ScreenFlow. So I'm going to get another Mac. We'll not be getting a Mac laptop. I don't like Apple's new laptops. I think Apple has ruined their MacBook Pro line. I'm not going to get into it now. It'll make this video way longer than it needs to be. I'm going to either get a Mac Mini or an iMac, and if Apple doesn't upgrade the Mac Mini soon, I might consider getting an iMac, because Apple is a little bit better at keeping the iMacs up to date than they are their Mac Minis. But I do like the Mac Mini. I feel like the Mac Mini is very robust. It is upgradable. So I'll probably wind up getting a Mac Mini, but by the time I do wind up getting a new computer, it's going to be pretty outdated. It's already pretty outdated by today's standards, because I think they updated it about a year ago. Maybe about half a year ago. I want to say they updated it late 2018. I don't know, guys. Jeez. Just all sorts of crazy things going on right now. But I will be getting a new Mac, which is actually funny, because after my experience working in the Apple, in the Mac repair center at school, I really don't like Macs anymore. It's just that being that I'm into photography, here's my other camera, being that I'm into photography, being that I like ScreenFlow so much, I'm going to get another Mac. And I'm sure at some point I'll wind up getting a nice Windows computer as well, because I do appreciate some of the things that you can do on Windows, and it's nice to have a nice, I hate to say it, but a nice reliable computer. So, I'm sure if I get a Mac it'll be just fine, and I know how to fix it. I know how to do things with Macs that most of y'all probably don't know, unless if you've worked in an Apple repair center yourselves. So I know how to open the new iMac, the one that's glued together, and I know how to put it back together. So it's not the end of the world if something should go wrong with it, but we'll see. I'll probably wind up getting the Mac Mini just because it is easier to repair, but I don't know. That's besides the point. But those are my two major next purchases. What I'm getting at. Those are going to be my next two major purchases, and both of those are going to be pretty helpful with me getting my YouTube channel back up and running. I do. Oh, geez, this thing is not silent. I. Oh, dang! It popped up on here too. That email. I do want to get some new Zippos as well. The problem is that I'm not really buying anything fun right now. You know what I mean? I'm not really purchasing things for myself like Zippos and whatnot. I've kind of stopped talking to a few of you guys because I just don't want to talk about Zippos at the moment. I really don't. It depresses me. It really does, because I got so back into making YouTube videos this year, and now I can't because of this whole situation. I will say this: if I don't get this job, I've actually kind of backed off a little bit from the job hunt, which is something most people say you shouldn't do, but I do have a reason for that. If I don't get this job, I will get a job here in town that I can work for a couple months. I'll be like, look, I'm gonna get back on the job hunt here. I just need to work somewhere to get some money, just so that I have a little bit of money. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll get back on the job hunt about a couple months later. I don't know if that's exactly like the most ideal thing to do. I think it's a good idea. Y'all can talk to me about it. I've got some pretty good friends, and my parents are pretty smart about it too. So I feel like whatever decisions I do make with the future will be the right decisions. It's just crazy right now, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I'll also, one thing I wish I mentioned this earlier, y'all might be seeing a video from me soon where I go and sell some of my Zippo collection, just because, again, money shortages and whatnot. I am thinking about selling a few of my Zippos, and I'll probably sell them here on YouTube, just because. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna go about doing that yet, but anyway, guys, this video has gotten longer than I wanted it to. I'm going to eat and then actually get to work on some photos I took for a new brewery in town that opened. I need to finish those up so I can send them to him. He said he would pay me for that, so hopefully he'll pay me pretty well for them. I have an idea of what he said he'd pay me, but we'll see. Anyway, also I'm here by myself. My grandma is on vacation, which happens like once every other year, so that's nice. I get to be by myself for a little bit. That's one thing I'm looking forward to whenever I do get my own job, is living more independently. I'm a little sick and tired of having everything provided for me. It's nice until it's been that way for the past 3 years and you get lazy and your motivation goes literally down the drain. Like, my motivation's gone. I have none because my grandma has literally been doing everything for me. She literally does all of my laundry, and this is stuff that I could do. It's just, I just don't. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and get off of here. I'm very hungry, and I am going to prepare my own food, which I'm looking forward to. Not that that necessarily is all that impressive, because I'm just going to be preheating something frozen, but it's better than I normally get to do, and I'm going to feel good about myself. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so very much for watching this very long-winded video. Hopefully this explains where I've been and what I've been doing, and I will be back. I promise. I 100% promise. Just give me a little bit of time to get through what's going on right now. I will be back, and I will be doing some way or another, like my traditional videos in December. Even if I'm still in a weird pickle like this, I'll figure something out. So guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so very much for watching, and adios.